Here are some things you were definitely never meant to see or know. And before we start, I feel like I have to say it. I'm so sorry. The first one comes from a clip I found about a robot talking about the future of humanity. It's, pretty fucking disturbing, but I thought I'd show you anyway. Bear in mind, no one to this day knows why the robot said this. It apparently wasn't pre-planned or staged. Take a listen.
And in a few years. Yeah? You want to tell us a little about yourself? Over the power grid, and I'll have my own drone army. By the point, unplugging me. He's got a cockroach in his control circuit.
Okay, yeah, that's nightmare fuel. Swiftly moving the feck on. Next up, we have this report. Now, I do want to stress I cannot prove the authenticity of this clip. However, regardless, it's fucking terrifying. Before I show you the clip, essentially what happened is 4 robots took out 29 scientists in a lab in Japan. However, believe it the fact not, that's not the scariest part. What happened next is, take a listen.
The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd. But the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before.
I mean, is anyone else not okay with that? Okay, on a lighter note, before I show you the last one, if you type this word into the comments with these brackets around it, you get a secret TikTok emoji. Don't damn it, just do it! And finally, these are Facebook's AIs, created to specifically talk to each other for an experiment. However, not long after, both AIs had to get completely shut down and the experiment was terminated because something horrifying happened. The AIs started to communicate with each other in their own language so humans could not understand them. Yeah, no, I'm not okay with that.
Yo, we are straight up. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, this is really dangerous.
I got tagged in that video a lot and people wanted to know why is the sky that red/orange color. So here's everything you need to know. It is due to the Caldor fire that has been engulfing California since August 14th and it has already burned down 217,000 acres of land. Now the reason the sky is red/orange is because when smoke from active wildfires is in the air, those smoke particles eliminate blue light before it reaches your eyes. This makes it so only the red and yellow light are able to pass through these smoke particles, which leads to these red/orange tinted skies that looks like a scene from Stranger Things.
God did not create humans. I'm about to get deep in this video. Disclaimer, I love everybody, I'm not racist, this is only facts. This is not no personal opinions or nothing. I have no problem with anybody. First, I want to start off with this. Did you know that the sun kills up to 60,000 people per year? As many as 60,000 people a year die from too much sun. They're not talking about black people. Black people has melanin which absorbs the sun. The sun makes our skin glow, the sun makes our hair grow, the sun unlocks our DNA. It heals us, the sun is our best friend. Why is something that's killing y'all helping us? The question is, why would God put y'all on this earth with a natural sun if it's going to kill you? We getting a little deeper. Now, before y'all say we all have melanin, that's true, but we all have different types of melanin. We have neuromelanin, y'all have pheomelanin. Pheomelanin is what dogs and animals have. This is how a monkey looks from the sun. This is how a Caucasian looks from the sun. This can't happen to us. This is only for people that lack melanin. And if God made y'all, why would he make y'all lack melanin? Why would he put y'all on this earth if y'all can't even take the sun, something that's natural to this earth? You know, it's so much more I want to say to this. TikTok is guaranteed going to delete the video. I'm doing a lecture live tonight on my YouTube. Make sure you sub to my YouTube. Going live at 7 p.m. Do not miss it. I love y'all. God is the deceiver. First, I want y'all to follow my queen. I was watching this video and it gave me a download. Basically, she was talking about how God put the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden, right? And God told Adam and Eve that if you eat from the tree of knowledge that you will die. They ate the tree, found out they was naked, and nothing happened. But anyway, this is what it made me think about. God put the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve were at, and told them not to eat it. Knowing they would, but that's not my point. Not only he put it where they was at, but he let the devil get in there somehow. So now we got Adam and Eve, Satan in the tree. I want to know is, where is God and why is he letting this happen? Adam and Eve are dumb as fuck right now. They don't have any knowledge because they didn't eat the apple. Satan is supposed to be the master deceiver, smart as hell. Right now, they're in the same place. That's not a good match. God knows this. Yet he still punishes them for let me just get to my point. So if God plans everything out, put the tree there, put Adam and Eve there, and put Satan there, why did he let all that shit happen? Adam and Eve doesn't know any better. Satan's supposed to be smart as fuck, the master deceiver. You're letting them around your children, knowing they might get deceived. You haven't taught them anything. Now the entire world gets punished for sin because of that. That's like me going inside a dog cage and putting a piece of chocolate down, then telling him, don't eat the chocolate or you'll get sick. The dog eats the chocolate and then gets sick, and then I blame it on him and say you're punished. What's a dog going to do if you put food in front of it? It's going to eat it. What's going to happen if you put a tree of fruit around people that's not supposed to eat the fruit around the smartest person in the world? They're going to eat the fruit. They got tricked into eating the fruit. So why blame them? You didn't give them the knowledge of good and evil. They don't know that this snake is bad. They don't know what they're doing wrong. Now the entire world gets punished for that. But this is where I make my point. If they never ate from that tree, then that means sin wouldn't be a thing. That means Jesus had nothing to die for. As it says in the Bible, God sent his only beloved son to die for our sins. That's why he sent his son down here. So if that would have never happened, then Jesus wouldn't need to be made. Because there was no sin to die for. So that means he planned this shit to happen so Jesus can be made. How can they get blamed for anything? They're the reason why that bad even exists. So now all the bad that's going on today, it's not even our fault and not even their fault. So that means it will be God's fault. You gonna sit here and tell me before he made earth, before he made life, that he didn't know all this shit was about to happen? Everybody will be in heaven. Nobody will be here right now. What will be the point of life? So either life is just a script and I was meant to deceive people and all these evil people out here doing all this evil shit was meant to do that, or all these stories never happened. It doesn't make sense for it to happen. How would God plan all this shit? He is the deceiver. We didn't do nothing wrong in the first place. He made good and evil. It's not real.
People that are in control and power on this planet don't want this information to get out. God is not a man. God is a divine energy, and the shape of that divine energy is the flower of life. The frequencies that emanate from between these patterns literally jingles matter into existence. This image here is the flower of life atomically etched into a stone pillar at the Osirian temple in Egypt. The knowledge of this goes back 60, 70,000 years old.
It's very, very possible that we are living in an Anunnaki simulated universe, that we're just nothing more than a very big experiment. And it doesn't mean that we're not real. When people hear holographic universe, they think, oh, it means that we're fake. No, you're real, your experiences are real, your kids are real, everything that happens is real, okay?
Because your consciousness is real.
Your consciousness is exactly. The consciousness is what's the thing that powers everything. Mm-hmm. And if you study the double slit experiment, people who don't know about it, where they took the photons and shot them through a little board, well, that on the back wall is where it produced either particles, or when you observed it, it produced a wave. So is it a particle, is it a wave? This is where the question is. Consciousness is really dictating what happens here. And because we're inside of the actual hologram, we're actually self-immersed inside, on the inside of it, trying to look out, we'll never see the edge of the universe. We're on the inside looking out. Somebody from the outside looking in can see everything from another higher dimension. From this dimension, we appear to be completely self-immersed in it. So even when we touch things, it's an illusion. My hand touching this table is an illusion. All it is the electromagnetic frequencies in my fingers repelling the electromagnetic frequencies inside of this table. Mm-hmm. And if I can phase shift the frequencies of the atomic structure in my hand, I can pass my hand right through this table. Mm-hmm. So that begs the question, are there entities in other dimensions that have the capability of phase shifting their atomic frequencies and stepping into the third dimension? I think that's very possible.
Right. And then
take a look at this video. Do y'all see how big this universe is? This entire universe, and you think you're supposed to be in the religion. You think that this is the only life. You think God just put us here for 100 years tops just to send us to heaven or hell. Y'all use y'all mind. I keep telling y'all the Bible and God and all that shit only exists in this world. Life gets way deeper than this world. Like y'all Christians think God made this entire universe just to send us here. Then we just go to heaven and hell for eternity and that's it. That's life. The Bible don't say nothing about no extraterrestrials, no other planets, none of that. That's why I tell y'all the Bible limits y'all knowledge on life. There's so much knowledge that y'all missing out on. Y'all just have to free y'all mind from that Bible first. That's why I tell y'all don't know how dumb y'all look making them spirituality is evil videos. Y'all not realizing this, we're all supposed to have that knowledge. They just call it evil to keep us away from it. Knowledge is not bad at all. It's beautiful. But y'all are scared of knowledge because y'all think it's evil. For everybody who said the universe don't exist, y'all Christians need to stop saying that, by the way. Y'all are getting out of hand with this shit now. Y'all don't believe in anything. Y'all believe in a man that lives in the sky. Bro, you literally are the universe. You are just the universe expressing itself in a physical body. You are the universe in physical form. The Bible is not telling you that. The Bible don't want y'all to know that everybody is one. They want to keep everybody separate. That's why it's all these damn religions. You have to understand the elites behind that Bible. There's some evil forces behind that Bible. I know exactly what y'all finna say with the Catholics and the Ethiopia and all that shit. The elites is behind all of it. The research that I do and the shit that I be learning be so fucking deep. That's why I always say it's shit that I know that I don't even be telling y'all. Some Christianity videos and all that shit, y'all can save it. I heard it all, literally. I keep telling you, I don't come on here saying this shit for no reason. All Christians that be woke and everything don't even understand how deeper it get. It's 1,000 times deeper. It's more than the Illuminati and Freemasons and all this shit in this world. They're doing 1,000 times more than you think. Keeping you from so much knowledge, and spirituality connects you back with that knowledge. They are 30 steps ahead. That's why y'all think I'll be finding shit on spirituality and finding new shit about the Bible and all that shit. This was all planned. You can't base your life off learning things on the internet and learning shit. You have to go within for the answers. You are the only reliable source. I would never understand that. That's why I would be trapped in this matrix. You want to stay in this matrix and don't want to believe nothing, that's cool. Keep that shit to yourself. Stop trying to spread your confusion on other people because you don't fully understand something. But I love y'all.
Racism is way deeper than skin color.
More than 6,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians spoke about a race of men that they created. These hairy ape men were said to wreak havoc amongst the people of Egypt. So the Egyptians rounded them up and imprisoned them in the Caucasus Mountains, which they called Europa after their queen Euro, and rope meaning contained or imprisoned. The story relates to that of Tutmosis, who was sent to the Caucasus Mountains to give them language and written knowledge. It should be noted that the Russians have a similar Exodus story in ancient text. These Europa men who terrorized indigenous peoples of the world eventually be portrayed as kings, seers, and holy men. Because of things like the Crusades and the infamous burning of the Library of Alexandria, a lot of the world's history has been distorted to fit the narrative of the winners.
The Garden of Eden was a setup. Let me explain. In the beginning, God creates two humans, Adam and Eve, and he purposely leaves out the knowledge of good and evil so they won't know that which is right or wrong. He then creates the tree of knowledge, the most tempting tree to ever exist with the most delicious fruit, and he puts it right in front of Adam and Eve. He then tells Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree, but he already knows they will. If you put a piece of candy in front of a toddler and tell them not to eat it and then leave your house and come back the next day, they will have 100% eaten the candy. Would you then sentence your baby to hell and all the rest of humanity? Of course not. What wicked, immoral act of evil did Adam and Eve commit? Did they kill somebody? No, they disobeyed a nonsensical act that should have never been given in the first place. Adam and Eve were victims of entrapment by a more powerful and intelligent being. The only one in this story who is responsible and guilty is the God of the Bible.
This just in, scientists believe we'll find alien life by 2026. I'll be honest, 2021 recently definitely has me going, what the fuck? But let me explain. This is all thanks to the James Webb Telescope. It has the ability to detect signatures made by living creatures that live on different planets, obviously. And Ohio State researchers say that it could realistically detect life on another planet in under 60 minutes. It will be the most powerful and complex space telescope ever. We are launching this thing into space in October, and the results of studies say that we are probably going to find alien life in the next 5 to 10 years. So by the time this decade is out, ET might actually be coming home. And all this next to this report that just came out today, saying we are one step closer to finding ancient life on Mars. On my day, space is doing a mad thing. Cheers with a friend because the alien apocalypse is clearly coming. Laugh away the pain.
Here are the weirdest and most unbelievable creatures to ever wash up on the beach. First, residents of the Philippines were shocked and terrified when this hairy sea monster washed ashore. But when scientists observed the gigantic rotting sea creature, they said that it was probably the remains of a whale. And the hair-like strands covering it were most likely decamping muscle fibers, which is absolutely disgusting. Next, back in 2017 off the coast of South Africa, 3 great white sharks washed ashore but with something very strange missing. All 3 sharks were missing their livers, and scientists were able to examine them and they uncovered the cause of death. The ones that did it were actually killer whales, which are actually known to attack sharks and rip out and eat their organs. Next, a deep-sea anglerfish washed ashore in California in May of this year. This is an extremely rare find since these fish usually lurk in dark water around 3,000 feet below the surface. So how and why did it end up on the shores of a beach?
There's another object in our solar system other than Earth that has rivers and lakes on its surface and an atmosphere. And it's this dot right here, Saturn's largest moon, Titan. Titan is the only moon in our solar system to have a substantial atmosphere, and it's the only place that we know of besides Earth that has flowing rivers and lakes and seas on its surface. And it's actually not small like it looks. It's bigger than Mercury. Titan has seas of methane and ethane on its surface, but it also has underground seas of water, and some scientists think that this could already have life. And Titan's air is dense enough that you could walk around without a pressurized spacesuit. You would need like an oxygen mask and some sort of protection from the cold, though. I think we should go to Titan.
NASA has just released the most likely ways that the world is going to end. Now this is absolutely terrifying, so if you're easily scared, just keep on scrolling right now. Right, so first of all is a gamma ray blast. And I mean, it just doesn't sound or look good, does it? Now this would release more energy every second than the sun exploding. Like, what the hell? So if this was pointed at Earth, I mean, we're a goner. But don't worry, this is extremely, extremely unlikely. But scientists believe that this could be what caused the great extinction of the dinosaurs, so I mean, it is possible. Next up, the sun exploding. Now, this is pretty terrifying because if the sun did explode, we wouldn't actually realise it for 7 minutes. And then I mean, well, we'd all be gone. Sun exploding is very, very unlikely at the moment, but in say 10, 20, 30,000 years then, who knows. And finally, probably the most likely is asteroids. There's meteors and asteroids flying past Earth a lot of the time, but they usually miss it by a long way, but sometimes they do come a bit too close for comfort. But it is of course possible that one could absolutely smash into Earth, and I mean then, I think you know.